Hi. In this video, I'm going to talk about incoterms. Incoterms, which are common international commercial terms. These are not specific to SAP or any other ERP. So if you go to Google, you can verify what are the incoterms. You get the details. The same similar details I'm going to explain today. But along with that, I'm going to show you where you can see in SAP. And even we can see the in screen wise, there are few changes happened in S4HANA also. I will try to highlight at the high level. But first you can understand is what are these international commercial terms and what kind of standardized rules are defined by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC. So they are used in international and domestic contracts for the sales of goods to clarify the tasks, costs, and risks associated with the delivery of goods from sellers to buyers. We see a lot of videos and all right. While a carrier was carrying on a sea, there was some accident happened, or else the ship was sink into that sea, or else in the road transport the accidents happen or some firing happens, and in the train transport the completely a train might be burnt, or else the items were robbery or could happen, or it was damaged. Multiple things can happen, right, which are not expected. But what happens, people cannot keep it right, okay, once in a while it happens, let it be. No, we should have a prior agreement. Even when you do when it too, what will happen after sending the materials from my company, it went out of my company, but while traveling, if something happens, who has to bear it? And you have to take insurance always for these products, because any kind of accident or anything can cause financial loss. At that point of time, the insurance companies will cover 90% or 80% based on the guidelines. So it's always important to have a proper incoterms for the goods which are sending, either any kind of transport or a specific transport related to sea. So I'm not going to highlight your read every point. You can go through Google and you can check the documents and all. So here, if you see, there are which are quite popular, which we see while making the purchase orders while working in the business, especially when you're working in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. These all these countries, you see a lot of FOB, because their transport more depend on sea, because they are surrounded by sea. So they use most of the transport by sea, so that the containers will go to the port, and from there it will go by ship. The container front end will be there, right? The front end vehicle kind of a place. That place will be, it can just run like the carrier only. So, but once they put that container there, then the containers will be gone. Most of you are aware about containers. Anyway, I can show you. So if you go to India and all, we also have good transport through sea and certain kind of air, but most of the I can see that from the road transport also. We have road transport and train transport. Most of the roads, because if you see from Chennai to Kolkata or Vishakhapatnam to Kolkata, all these things are mostly by road transport. That's why we see a lot of lorries on the NH5 roads, national highways and all. So, but if these kind of countries and all, mostly they do the sea. So what is this? Let's say one point we'll discuss, EXW, Xworks. The seller makes the goods available at their premises, and the buyer assumes all risks and costs from that point onward. Okay. So for example, the seller makes the goods available at their premises, and the buyer assumes all risks and costs. For example, most here at high level, what I can say that most of the buyer assumes all risks from that point onward, assumes all risks. Okay. So here the seller makes the goods available at their premises, and the buyer assumes all risks and costs from that point. So free carrier, FCA. The seller delivers the goods to the carrier and or another party specified by the buyer at the seller's premises or another named place. The risk transfers to the buyer upon delivery to the carrier. So what happened? The seller will just send based on the buyer things. The latter, the complete risk will be upon delivery to the carrier and all. The buyer will take care about that. So another popular FOB, I will just tell you. So the seller delivers the goods on board the vessel at the named port of shipment. The risk passes to the buyer. What happened? Once the seller sends the goods to the port, from that place onwards, the buyer will take care about the risk. So he will take the insurance, everything he has to take care. So another popular one is CAF, cost, insurance, and freight. Similar to CFR, but the seller also procures insurance coverage against the buyer's risk of loss and damage during transit. So this is the seller is buying that one. So the seller arranges, in case of CFR, the seller arranges and pays for the carriers of goods to the named port of destination. However, the risk transfers to the buyer when the goods are on board the vessel at the port of shipment. So here in case of CFR, the buyer has to take the risk, but in case of CAF, uh, the seller also procures insurance. So the seller will already buy the insurance for the buyer. He will consolidate everything, all expenses, and he give the price accordingly because he is taking care about the insurance and all. Okay. I think we will find a few good images normally in the internet. Okay. So I can find that container for loading. Okay. These are the containers I am talking about. So we just load the containers here, and those containers, see, these containers will be sent to the port. So see, from the port, they will take only this container things, and the engine will go back and take another one, or else they will have these kind of empty ones. Only the container will be carried, and then the containers will be taken there. Okay, mostly it will be like that. The containers will be taken there. Engine with this empty one will be going back to the warehouse. Okay. So if you see that import terms with images, so you can find different kind of incoterms with images also. You can see here. So maybe you can find here. Okay. So who will take care about that one? Okay, EXW, FOB, the seller, the freight. Okay, while carrying, buyer, trucking. The seller will send through truck, after custom duty. They will put it into that sea. Once it reaches again the custom duty at that destination country, from that port to truck, it will go to the buyer. During this point of time, who will take the risk and what kind of risk will be taken care by the seller? See here, in FOB, seller will take care till it reached terminal. In case of EXW, completely buyer will take care. So in case of DDP, seller will take care most of the cases. So in that way, you can understand how things happen and all. Even see here, EXW, FCA. So the terminologies and all you can learn, and you can watch, you can read it and understand. So this is about Incoterms. And as an SAP consultant, where you see Incoterms, right? So ME21N. When you go to the purchase order, okay. So here you see that header level, right? These are the Incoterms. So these Incoterms location one and all, these are all new screens you see in S4HANA. It was a bit different in ECC. Okay. So if you click on F1, and then without specifying project, you will see that where you can define the Incoterms. So these are standard Incoterms are copied until if there is any little customization and all we see. But in my experience, mostly we saw that whatever international commercial terms, the same thing is being used. Maybe you can see defining Incoterms. It's in transportation management. Yeah, in transportation management, we'll mostly take care about this one because they are the team who is going to take care about that transportation rules, capacity, insurance, damage, those things. So you can see transportation management, basic settings, general settings, incoterms, define incoterms. See, whatever we have seen, right? So those things and all. Here you put it like location is mandatory or not. Those things we can set it in SAP. So remaining all could be similar. Okay. So if you go to LB21 and see, for example, '65 and S12 01, and this is my material. And S12 quantity 100. This is 01. And now I'm going to incoterms. I will give. So let's keep it something CAF. CAF, see, once I give the CAF, the location is mandatory. Now we have to input the what location and all. For example, we'll check another one, FH, free house. See, for FH, location is not mandatory. So the incoterms location details and all, if you want to give, you can input here. So only this location mandatory one we can control based on the incoterms. So that's it about this incoterms and how we are going to use it and all. And in S4HANA, you can observe that different incoterms is available at the item level also. Okay, so the 100 quantity. Okay, still I need to give that one. Maybe test location. Okay, so click on check button. If you have any incoterm specific item incoterms for material level and all, you can input that one. So each item level, material data, conditions. So we got the price. Okay, those details here. So then invoice. Okay. So no partner schema. So yeah, we'll cover that point in partner profile related video. Anyway, I'm doing this business partner and partner profile. Those things are all covered in that video. So that's it for today. And we have